Happy Monday, Year 3! Welcome back to your home learning, and we've only got one more week now left of our home learning, so I want to say a massive well done to you all for coming so far whilst learning at home. But before we move on with our lesson today, I've got my big superstar shout outs. My first one is to Millie. Hi Millie. Millie, I was super impressed with the adjectives that you have used in your literacy work. You have used the adjective outstanding. I think that is an outstanding adjective. And to Emily, so Emily, hello, you've got a big shout out, Emily, because you had taken the time to correct your work when Miss Morgan had given you some feedback. So well done, that shows me a great attitude to your learning. Okay, I hope you're ready to warm your big brains up after a weekend of rest. So for your warm-up today, Year 3, you will need your whiteboard and your whiteboard pen. So hit pause on the video and make sure that you have got them. Okay, so it says on my board today, improve this sentence using wow words. So we know if we want to improve something, we want to make it better. What are wow words? Wow words are what makes me go wow when I read your sentence. Okay, so have a think. What should wow words do? Okay, so my sentence is a little bit boring. The apple fell from the tree. I'm sure we can improve this sentence, can't we, Year 3? What can I use to improve my sentence here? Now, I know that fell is a verb because that's a doing word. So could I add an adverb to fell? How did the apple fall? And you have got the nouns apple and tree, and we know we can use some wow adjectives to describe the apple or to describe the tree. And how can we extend that sentence, Year 3? How can we make our sentence longer? We can use conjunctions. Well done if you got that correct. So if you use a conjunction, you might just wow me with your sentence. Okay, so I hope your brains are nice and warm now, Year 3. We are going to move on with today's learning. And today we will be completing our second part of our reading book. So make sure you've got your reading Year 3 book on you. Okay, if you haven't, just hit pause on the video. So let's read our learning question together today for Monday, the 1st of March. Okay, are you ready? Can I understand the importance of an author's choice of words? So if something's important, that means it's very special, doesn't it? And I know that an author is somebody who writes a text like a story or a news report, okay? And I know that a choice means that you have more than one option. So if you have a choice of food, you would have, maybe tonight you could have fish and chips or you could have a burger. You have a choice of your meals. So why do authors choose certain words? Have a think now and think, why do authors choose certain words? What's the purpose of that? So let's have a look. So I have a piece of writing here, and I don't know if anybody will notice by the picture what piece of writing this might be. It's the Tin Forest. Well done if you remembered. You were all very good in our literacy with our Tin Forest story. So I've put a question at the top. How do you feel reading this? Okay, so I've got a happy face and I have a sad face. Okay, so when I'm happy, I could feel overjoyed. I could feel excited. When I'm sad, I could feel terrified, or I could feel miserable and blue, couldn't I? Okay, so we're going to read this text together. And we're going to see how we feel throughout this text. You might feel happy at the beginning and then sad at the end, or the other way around, or you might feel happy and sad all the way through the text. Okay, and whilst I read this and we read this together, I want you to think of number 1. What words have made me feel this way? What words in the text have made me feel happy or sad? And number 2, why has the author used these words? So let's read it together. Then one day, across the barren plain, the wind swept a small bird. The old man spilled the crumbs from his sandwich onto the ground. The bird ate the crumbs and perched to sing in the branches of the perch tree. How do you feel, Year 3? I feel quite happy. I quite enjoyed that. The bird has come and the bird is eating all the crumbs that the old man has put down. But the next morning, the visitor was gone. All day the old man walked through the silence, and his heart ached with emptiness. His heart ached with emptiness. That makes me feel really sad and really down. How does that make you feel, Year 3? What words in that made you feel sad if you felt sad? I'm going to show you. I think the author's choice of using walked through the silence, because that means that he's got no friends, he's just walking through the silence. His heart ached with emptiness. So he didn't just have a broken heart, it ached because it was so empty. Now the author using those words has really made me feel something. Okay, let's carry on with our text. That night by moonlight he made a wish. In the morning the old man woke to the sound of birdsong. The visitor had returned and his mate had come with him. The birds carried seeds in their beaks. They dropped them to the dry ground. Green shoots broke through the earth. I don't know about you, but I feel quite excited now. The visitor has come back and some green shoots. What do you think the green shoots are? Plants and trees have burst through the ground. And I feel excited because the author told me he made a wish and he used ... What's ... It's ellipsis. Well done if you got that. It made me feel a bit of suspense, which means it made me think, oh, what's going to happen next? And then he told me that green shots broke through the earth. Okay, that verb makes me feel excited. So why has the author used these words? The authors use these words to make you feel something, Year 3. Okay, it's not a boring text. They have chosen them to improve their writing. So today in our reading books, we will be carrying on with our text about the world's smallest school. And I really enjoyed this newspaper report. Okay, so you did your first section of questions on Friday. So today we will be doing pages 14 and 15. So we will use the skills of what we have just learnt. Why does an author use particular words? Okay, what does it make the reader feel? But we will also be using some of our reading skills that we use in our guided reading and we have used in our book before as well. And those skills include, I wonder if you can guess them from the pictures. What do you think that reading skill this is? I think it's to retrieve information from the text and to record an answer. Well done if you got it. Ooh, and then what is this one? I'll give you a big clue. It starts with the letter I. Okay. And it is inference skills. That was a difficult one. Well done if you got that. I know that with inference skills, I've got to look for clues in the text to help me. But the answer to my question may not always be in the text. So I have to use my thinking cap and think, ooh, I wonder what this means in the text. Okay? So, get your reading books ready and we will go through the questions together. Okay, Year 3, before we move on to the questions, a really big tip that will help you with today's learning so that you understand the questions a little bit better would be to read our text once again. Now remember, we said that it looks like a lot of reading, although it didn't take long for me to read at all, and I'm sure it didn't take long for you to read at home. And if anything, it's a very interesting piece of writing, okay? Or you can use a skill that we use now we are in Key Stage 2, which means we can skim the text and look at key words or key vocabulary to help us to remember what we have already read. Okay, so hit pause on the video now and you can skim that text or read it once again if you want to do really well in your answers. Okay, so page 14 is where we are going to start. Question number 1. Why do you think the author chose putting clue on the map as a heading for the second section of this report? So we know that a heading is what? It's the same as a subheading, isn't it? You have your title in your news report, and then in bold writing, slightly bigger than the text, you have your headings, don't you, or your subheadings. Now, our question says, why do you think the author chose putting Callooh on the map as a heading for the second section? So I know the second section is not going to be the first, it's going to be the second. And I can tell because it says putting Callooh on the map. Ooh, have a think now. Why do you think the author chose that as the heading? Now we have a little tip from our moose here. Let's read it together. Think about how famous Callooh was before and after the school was set up. So if I remember from the text, I remember, wasn't Callooh too small to see on the satellite map? So technically, it wasn't on the map before, was it? But why do you think it's on the map now? So why do you think the author chose to use that as the heading? What is the author trying to say? Okay, have a think about how Callooh could be on the map now. Okay, question number 2. How do you think Abdul Mohammed Shirani felt when he started receiving gifts and money from the school? And why do you think this? So, this is a 2D question, and our 2D means we've got to use our inference skills. So we've got to read the text and find some clues, but we've also got to think of the answer because the answer might not be in the text for us to retrieve. So, it includes Abdul Mohammed Shirani and how he feels when he starts receiving gifts and money for the school. A good way that you can help yourself to answer this question is putting yourself in Abdul Mohammed Shirani's shoes. If you were a teacher of a school and you didn't have any of the gifts and money that you had before, so remember the gifts are what? What does it say in the text? Computers, desks, okay? And stationery. How would you feel if you got all of these gifts? Okay, think of some adjectives to describe how they would feel. Something important in this question, it says, why do you think this? So what do you think we need to do to our sentence? We need to expand it and use a conjunction to explain why. Remember, I like the conjunctions because since and as. Okay, question number 3. Why did Hammyday's father change his mind about Hammyday going to secondary school? And this one is a retrieval question, so I'm sure I can retrieve that information from the text. What I'm going to do to help me is to look for the words Hammyday's father. Okay, and then I'm sure I will find my answer in the text. So I'm going to flip back and skim my text and see if I can find Hammyday's father, and I'm sure I will find my answer in that paragraph. So you need a reason why her father changed his mind. Okay, number 4, our last question on page 14. How do you know from the teacher's blog that the children who attended this school were happy? And again, this is an inference question. So our answer isn't just going to be in the text for us. We've got to look for clues, look for evidence, and put our thinking caps on and think, well, why were the children happy? This time, you can put yourself in the children's shoes, can't you? And you can pretend that you are one of the children. Okay. Why were you so happy about attending the school? So that means, why were you happy going to the school? Okay. And it also mentions the teacher's blog. So I could go back to the text and I could look for the words teacher's blog to see if I could find my answers. So I know that blog is in the first part and it talks a lot about the children. on the second page as well. So you are now one of the children. Why are you happy? Okay, well done for doing your first page. And now we've only got 3 questions on our next page. So, question number 5, we are going to use our new learning from today, year 3. And what was our learning question about? Why does the author use particular words in their text? Okay, what are they trying to do? So question 5A says, let's read it together. Read the fact from UNICEF. So UNICEF are just an organisation, okay, that help children. Which one of the following words do you think the author wants you to feel when reading this? So we've got to find that fact from UNICEF first. So I'm going to look for the word UNICEF. And does it make you feel shocked? Does it make you feel scared, happy, or a bit bored? So let's look for that UNICEF sentence. Okay, I've got a feeling it might be on our second page. So let's see if we can find UNICEF. And I found it because it says fact there on page number 11. Can you see that? Let's read it together. UNICEF estimates that around the world more girls than boys are missing out on school. How many girls is that? About 60 million. Wow. So lots of girls are missing out on going to school. That's not very good, is it? Does that make you feel shocked, scared, happy, or bored? Certainly doesn't make me feel happy, so I'm not going to take happy. Okay, and now we're going to use your answer from 5A to answer 5B. Why do you think she wants you to feel like this? So she is the author. Why do you think the author wants you to feel like this? Why do they want to make you feel shocked? Why do they want to make you feel scared? Okay, how are you going to start your paragraph here? You're going to start it with your conjunction because, since, and as. Or you may give me an adjective first and then expand your paragraph with a conjunction. Okay, so have a good think. Why do you think the author wants you to make it feel this? Okay, we're finally on our challenge now. Okay, so well done because everybody moved on to the challenge last time. You gave it a good go. Even if you'd just written 1 sentence, it was brilliant. Okay, but we've got lots of lines here that we can fill. Oh, my rooster here says, this amazing little school changed the life of boys in Callao more than girls. Do you agree or do you disagree? Now have a think about what the text is about and the fact that we just read from UNICEF. This amazing little school changed the life of boys in Callao more than girls. Do you agree or disagree? Explain your answer using evidence from the text. So you've got to look at some evidence in your text and tell us why you agree or you disagree with that statement, okay? So you could use the facts, okay? You could find a sentence that gives you a name of a boy or a girl, okay? I'm looking forward to seeing some of your answers for the challenge there, year 3. So again, we have done a lot of learning in our books today, so I'm not going to give you a challenge in your purple books. This will be your challenge today. Okay, so I'll see you for tomorrow's learning, where we will be doing 1 more day of our reading, and then we will move on to writing for the rest of the week. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday's learning. Bye-bye.